So now we're going to make the salted caramel banana bread pudding. So first off, dice up your bread. You want nice small cubes, nothing too crazy, okay? Next, before you even start, you need to puree your bananas and make your caramel sauce. So make sure those two things are ready to go before you start anything else. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to take our cream and we're going to put it in the pot with half of our sugar. Okay, I'm going to put it on nice and high because what I want to happen is I want the cream to dissolve the sugar. Okay, I'm just going to give that a quick stir. Just going to move my bread out of here just to make my life a little bit easier. Okay, then in this bowl, I'm going to take my eggs and my egg yolk and the sugar and combine those together. And you don't want to stir these together until you're ready to use them. So have it all ready to go, but don't combine it until it's time to cook it. If you combine it too early, the sugar dehydrates the eggs a little bit and it makes them a little bit, can give you like little crunchy bits. So you can either do this with a spatula or with a whisk, but if you're going to do it with a spatula, just make sure all the eggs are really well broken up. So now we're just going to wait for our cream to boil. Might want to every now and then just give a quick stir off the bottom to make sure that the sugar is not glued to the bottom. So you can see that the cream has started to boil, but I want to make sure it's really boiling. So don't walk away because it doesn't take long and it'll just end up boiling over. So once it's boiled up, you want to stir it slowly into the cream at first. Just a little bit at a time, just to warm up your eggs. And once you've got about half of the amount of cream in, you can pour pretty steady. Just gonna get that out of the way. So once that's all in, we're going to add our caramel sauce. Make sure that's all warmed up and stirred through. Caramel sauce was in the fridge, so it's going to just take an extra second probably to break up. There we go. So my caramel sauce is all dissolved and mixed in. Then I'm going to add my banana puree to that. So once that's all stirred together, I'm just going to pour it over the bread and then I'm going to let it sit for about 10 minutes. So just pour it over top. Okay, give it a quick fold through. Don't want to stir really aggressively because you don't want everything to break down. Okay, so we're just going to let that sit for about 10 minutes, let it absorb the moisture, and then we'll be back. Okay, our bread pudding's been sitting for about 10 minutes, so it's mostly soaked up all of the custard that we put in there. So the last thing we want to do is sprinkle in our milk chocolate chips. Give those a quick fold through. And then we're going to divide it equally between our two pans. So our pans have been buttered or sprayed rather and have some paper inside. Should be about 500 grams a tray, but I do want them to be equal, so I'm going to use my scale. Perfect. Okay, then the last thing I'm going to do is just level them out a little bit with my spatula. Make sure they're sitting nice and flat. Corners have some. Okay, and then into the oven they go.